Oh, hello and welcome to what is the first Crowswood Model Railway video of 2023. What I want to do in this video is kind of go over some of my plans for Crowswood, as well as a new layout which is being built. Hopefully at the end of this month, beginning of next, the wooden baseboards we put together, and then from there I've got to get my hands on some blue foam that I used to use in university. In this video as well, I would like to maybe talk a little bit about upload schedule, because I haven't really had one. So I guess I'll do that now because it's only brief. I want to do at least one video a month, which is probably doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a lot more consistent than it was in 2022, because I had a great big gap of no videos due to various external things kicking off that were a bit of a pain. But hopefully I can get at least one a month, 2 or 3 ideally, but at least one. So what? I guess that's like the intro and plan out of the way. So what I want to do is show off these KATO Suha 14s, and they are both the same type of coach. For anyone who wondering what their equivalent would be in the British Railway, it would probably be a brake coach, hence why I've got this Western Region BR Mark 1. Here, I'll show this is the equivalent coach. In formations, as far as I'm aware with this type of coach, you need 2, one on each end. They do have lights. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move the loco away. Away, not towards me. So you can see, I'll turn the flash off, that the tail lamps come on and the destination board does. But when the loco comes this way, that coach there, that one's lights will be on. Then they're both the same type of coach. So the formations, you'd have one at each end, and then you'd have your other coaches in the middle. Putting the flashback on so you can see the details a bit more. It looks like that's the guard's compartment, that little corner. If I get my little, first of all, what's the focus? This section, I'll get around the lorry, I think is the guard's compartment. But it's a lot more light and airy and visible at the end, so you can see a bit more what's going on. Whereas with brake coaches and their equivalents, where the guard sits on a British for a coach, you can see great big nothing unless you open the door. Having volunteered at the Foxfield Railway over Christmas, and I'm going to hopefully do it again this year when we reopen, which should be Mother's Day as far as I'm aware, is our first services. If you want to look out the window, or if you want to look out to see what's going on, you got to open these windows, which can get mighty stiff in winter, and poke your head out, which could be a wee bit of a pain in the butt. Otherwise, very, very enjoyable, very comfy coaches, the Mark 1, especially compared to modern stock over here. These are refurbished coaches, the Suha 14, as in the real things are rebuilds. Getting back onto main topic. So these are an older coach that were rebuilt and had, I believe these are air conditioning things. It's cheaper than getting new coaching stock, just recycle the old. And the couplings, again, if it wants to focus, they are very realistic for how the real ones are. And they're also a pain in the butt to uncouple between the coaches. Loco to coach is a bit easier to uncouple, because you push the coach forward and it'll just lift off. But compared to magnets tension locks and the hoop things you get in 009, these are slightly more difficult to uncouple. Coupling wise though, they are absolutely brilliant. So I'm bringing the EF65 up this way, which I have numbered and put some details on. The details are a bit of a faff, I will be honest. What I'm going to do, because I'm now pushing up this coach, again if it wants to focus, there we go. I will hold this one and my phone and get it to focus so you can kind of see how they couple up. The F65 can run beautifully slowly, although that did look blisteringly quick on the camera. It looked really slow to the naked eye. So I have numbered this engine. There's no handrails because they come as part of a detailing kit, and they are an absolute mare to try and get on. Lots of the finer details like this roof assembly, trying to point with my little pointer stick. This one, that was a real faff because those white bits are separately fitted. I don't think it's on straight. That was a faff. But the builder's plates, which is Kawasaki Heavy Industries, chose that one because they also built ships during the Second World War, including my favourite one, Taiho. They also built Zuikaku and Haruna for the Imperial Japanese Navy. Number is EF65102, which is a Kawasaki built engine. Originally I was going to do 118, but these are dry transfers, which I figured out the hard way because I can't read the instructions. This is what you get in the coach pack, in the coach box. Can't read the instructions because it's in kanji. I think that's kanji. So I figured out the hard way with the Kumoha, which is also numbered now. So I'll bring that on. I've got details on, so I'll show that off. I'll just bring it up closer. It is an absolutely lovely unit still, and the coaches are absolutely lovely. They've got, hopefully you can get some of the details. You can see the armrests. So it's probably a way to get people on. No handrails because they are too much of a pain, some of these smaller details ping off, and there's no wipers either on the 65 because they ping off. The chrome on the window here, that is separately fitted, and that is a slightly pingy thing, but thankfully they do give you spares. But all in all, I think that is it's a really nice unit. Still really like it. It's just a slap pain in the butt when it comes to detailing because of what we are used to in the UK, where lots of those parts are pre-fitted. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull the EF65 out of the goods yard. If I put the pantographs up, it will not clear the I guess the weight gauge at the name of that. These coaches run really nice and smoothly. They also apparently want to uncouple at the moment. Oh, that's a pain. Talking about the couplings being pretty finicky between the coaches, they are, between the locomotive and coaches, they are really good. I may have to slam this a bit more. Okay, and put away. A bit faster. Yeah, I've got it that time. You see the lights are on. That second radius through there tackles it no problem at all. Finer details are really nice. What I'm going to do is pause the recording and then I'm just going to fix the points so I don't have a massive accident. That's the points fixed. Don't want to do too many cuts and whatnot, so I find that annoying. But if I then run it off, it lights up, and they are directional tail lamps. No lights inside. I should say they cost £49.50 each, which, considering they have lights, I think is pretty good. value, especially as well considering how rare they are in the UK. If you want to get technical, that is a freight locomotive that is shifting them, but hey ho. The headlamp's on. As for what you get in the box, it's the same type box you get with the locos, but of course it's Suha 14. I've kept the price sticker on that one because it's in yen, but just something interesting. You get your instructions, you get dry transfers, you get stickers, which I'll show in the Kumoha, and you get detailing kit and this little screwdriver. One of these comes with the Kumoha as well, if you want to. There we go, little screwdriver thing. That you switch off the lights manually through a little switch on the bottom. So what I'll do is I will again pause the recording and bring the Kumoha into the yard to sort of show what I've done on the detailing with that. Okay, so the first thing I did was I numbered it. So that says Kumoha 40. Oop, I'll get my pointy stick instead of my finger. And then it's 40067. 7's a bit squished, as is the prints on the EF65, but that's because they're a right pain in the butt to get on because they are dry transfers, which I didn't realise. I tried water at first and it didn't go to plan. However, they're on now. So, and then on the doors, these are transfers. Well, as you can tell, ones I did because they're not quite straight. It's not quite showing up very nicely on the camera, but it's here. And then this one here is also a transfer. The roof detail, it was these step things, and there's a tiny little nub in there. And then for the ends, I put these sort of boards on the doors, which then have a sticker. And it is a sticker that you have to cut out the shape, though. It's not a sticker where you just peel the whole thing off and when you just peel this little piece off, you have to cut this out and then peel it off. So that's the destination on one end. That's a number there, 15E, and again you can tell it's me because it's not straight. And the coupling, again, this is a functioning coupling that then goes into another Kumoha 40 or into a 55, which is a trailer car, kind of like the DAPO, not DAPO, the real thing. The class 121, 122s would occasionally be coupled up with. Just DAPO make the model of it, don't they? And so that just couples into another one, or a trailer car, or theoretically you could put it into a, I think it's a 41, which is usually what's paired with a 55 to make it a 2-car set. So it's the same 15E on the other end, but it's a different route, different destination. So I'll bring her up. So then, from the other side, oh, there's my finger, I do apologise. And you can tell the end one here, this was factory applied, this is me, and then this is me as well, this 15E here. And then again up here, there's a little nubbin and these end step things. And they're very confused military police or officer of some script as to why the hell there's a Japanese 3'6" vehicle in the goods yard. It's an absolutely wonderful little unit though. I do love these things. And as the EF65 comes up now. A little bit of gear noise, but it is butter smooth. When I cut the power, they both glide to a stop, and they don't immediately start off either. And the coaches as well, they're really free running despite having couplings. They're some of the best rolling coaches I have, and they've even got weight in them as well. They are wonderful little coaches. So the plan now is I will bring 65 into the station. I'll park the Kumoha back on the inner loop, and then I'll go into the other room and show what I've been doing in there. It's a bit of a mess in here at the moment. There's wood stuff here which I'll all move. My narrow gauge railway I'll move out of the way. chest of drawers might need to get moved, which will be fun because that's full of military reenacting stuff, so there's really heavy things like magazines in there. But come round here, go and see the shape of the layout where it's obstructed by a beanbag. So this is a 6 foot by 2 foot board, and a 4 foot by 2 foot board together to make a reverse L. I have been doing some painting and some planning, and so what I've done is I've just painted these a Tamiya grey, switched the light off so it's a bit less harsh, tried to dry brush on some white on top, and then after putting the black wash on and then using the black wash, tried to have it look like that's a bit sooty and a bit dirty because steam engines. And then I'm going to need some more of these. These are done in Tamiya gunmetal with gold leaf detailing. I need at least one other packet of these, and these are to go on a bridge, and they go under the bridge that way up. The sort of idea for it came from the Oigara railway bridge, spelt Oigawa. There's a particular bridge, I think it's on there, which is what I'm trying to not copy, but have the same look of, because I like how it's unobscured for scenery. Because I have a station building which goes over here, but because I'm doing loads of scenery, so it's an above one. The number is KATO 23-200. It should be with my local shop within a week or so, I hope. These are PJM, I think that says. It's a second radius fitter or template, because I can't go tighter than second radius because of the tender engines which are coming. Tank engines are fine, tender engines not so much. So the idea is to have massive, well not massive, but a dip about 2 inches where it's water coming up to a tall mountain in this corner. I don't know how tall exactly yet. Several little sidings here, powered all over gauge master combi because it's inexpensive and absolutely brilliant. There's a mix of flex track and set track. Set track is mostly so I know where my curves are definitely second radius. In terms of stock at the moment for N, pardon the noise, I'm on the beanbag. I've got the old trusty 33-1, which is an absolutely lovely model, and a second hand, I think I've briefly shown this before. This is a Kumoha 111 series, I think, a 113 series. I think it's model 111. It's a really nice little thing. It's a little bit coggy at low speed. When it's up and running, it's brilliant. It doesn't have lights, unlike the 33. And I have 2 Southern region Mark 1s, a Minitrix Gauge Master track cleaner, and that's it for my stock at the moment because nothing's arrived yet. Hopefully, I've got a train set coming which has got a Japanese C11 in it, and then that's a steam engine I can actually use to start testing. Also, as a bit of a joke, I want to put on a Very Lost, and also reference to my interest in the Southern and South Downs and sort of the countryside in that part of the country. Very Lost little bus to Worthing. They will be very lost. I picked, because I've got these points, which I'm probably going to just take into my local shop and especially say free to new home or something, because their first radius, only the tank engines and the multiple unit are on it. With all the tender engines, I've got 280s, 282, 260s, 462, none of them are going to run on first radius. It's a bit too tight. There's trees. I've got some maple trees to line, but that's where the end of the path is going, sort of along there, where it drops down quite steeply, 2 inches. So that is the plan so far. Loads of wood. Chose that wood because it was more affordable, and I already had one plank beam in that size. It just makes sense. I do apologise, my phone in its infinite wisdom decided to stop recording on me. So that was nice. But, onto the ply, because remember that's the last thing, is 9mm thick, because it doesn't have to be super duper thick. It's just basically got to form the base, and then I'm having the blue foam, which is used in the automotive industry, and they have the design for a car, and they start putting it into 3D. They will make a skeleton, as it were, block. Those are blocks of blue foam, carve it down, put clay on top, and start off. I think we started off with a 1 to 10th, so I think that was what it was, or it might have been 1 to 5, where it's in university when we were doing it, it was cut in half, but if it was the full size, it'd be 5 times narrower, shorter, and shorter height-wise than the real car. So, so 25 times 5 is 125 times the size. I think it would have been the real thing. It's 5 by 5 by 5, but they also use it for 1-to-1 scale, and so it's really strong. It's easy to carve, lightweight, and really strong. Can take a compression. However, it can also fly at your hand if you use a sander, and result in your hand being cocked up for life. Because while working with some, it flew off on a sander, jammed my hand up, stuck on the extractor, and I couldn't move because it's that strong that before I became a cripple, all my force couldn't take it out. I had to have the woodworking technician lift up the fan with all his strength and then have me yank it out just to free my hand. So I don't recommend using power tools when you're using this foam. It's like XPS foam, but stronger, because it's like purpose built to take lots of weight, and however it is fairly easy to cut. It gives a weird smell when you use a hot tool to cut it, and a weird finish. But Evo stick wood glue in general is pretty good stuff to stick it to things. So to make a wood base, and so it was a wood base, and then it was our layers of blue foam, instead of track work, plaster and sculptor mold and all that stuff are going on it. It's super duper heavy clay that you have to put in an oven so that it is malleable, and then it cools when cold. But that's what we used, and that's what they use, because it's what they use in the automotive industry anyway, and probably other vehicle design when it comes to big models. But it's absolute. I am really excited about putting this together. I don't have a set name yet. I have a few ideas, but I don't have a set name. One thing I'm doing is I'm naming the mountain again after my favourite ship, because there's you got sort of a reverse. You have Takao, named after Mount Takao. You've got Atago, named after Mount Atago. You've got Akagi, named after Mount Akagi, but you don't have a Great Phoenix or Taiho. So I'm going to name the mountain Taihoyama. And I think literally that is Great Phoenix Castle, because Kageyama is Red Castle translated. Something along those lines. There will be a shrine and temple area. Maybe about here. This is where my points will come into a small yard. Store some locos in. I got to store others underneath it once it's built. Flexi track coming in along the back, coming in to avoid and sort of beginning of another mountain maybe coming up there. So that's green on green. Do apologise. There's going to be lake or river coming around. I quite like the toilet paper method because it's cheap and light for making water instead of using resin, which is going to be expensive and take a long time, because I'm already going to have to spend like £150 on the blue foam, which is not going to be fun. I'd rather spend that on locomotives, but the end result will look awesome. Over where the shape of things for flexi track is, so maybe a viewing area, I'm thinking. Maybe somewhere for people to put their bicycles. And then there'll be a path which comes down there, along there. The station will then connect to the path, it'll come along, and then it'll go uphill. And there will be steps more than likely leading into a temple area, and then the mountain will just keep going until I run out of blue foam or slope. And the railway will run roughly where that plastic is. There'll be a tunnel portal which will then come around and it'll leave about here. So it then comes round back into the station, which I can fit a 6-car multiple unit. That's my knee. Hello. This fits in no problem. The uni track is here so I can display eventually, and also so that I can get an idea of height, because the Pico track, anyway, so I'm using code 80 because it's easier for me to work with, because I have crap hands. I mean, even not counting this, I'm getting stuck in a extractor fan. Thankfully no spinny blades that low, but I don't have the best hands in the world. Well, they click a lot and they ache all the time. That's because of my health conditions, but this is a lower, and so I'm using it as a rough idea to get height, because this being lower means that when it's here, you have to be a hobbit to get into the train because the doors are cut in half. So it's got to be lifted up, or this is more likely going to be sunk down because I want to use cork. Got 2.5mm cork, which is just there, those 4 rolls. And the pink is some sakura trees to line the paths again. And so, hopefully, using cork, I can lift this, whereas this is sat straight onto the blue foam. This is then sat onto cork to lift it up, and so I can get the right height. Although it won't be this, because this is a second radius 22.5 degree curve, which we don't want. We want this to be straight sections. And then around this bit it'll be flexi to get as close to the platform as I can get without having an accident. I'll also try my biggest stock. My biggest stock does fit through these tunnel portals on second radius, biggest stock being the Mark 1s. No idea how big the Japanese coaches are going to be in comparison. These can fit through, the multiple unit can fit through. So that is the plan for here so far. I'm going to have a spot over here for the controller and a coaster for a mug of tea, because can't forget that, the cup of tea is one of the most important parts of having a model railway. Along the back it's going to start climbing up a bit, leading into the mountain. All in all, I think it's going to hopefully look pretty good, and I'm going to document it, and so I want to do a video a month, even if it on this, which is N scale and not the big 00 in the next room, then hopefully I can actually get somewhere with this as well this year. I don't think it'll be done, but I do hope that it looks pretty damn cool, because some of the scenery on the Japanese railways is absolutely stunning, and it's that, and also watching various anime that have trains in them, train scenes. It's just something to go, yeah, I want to do Japanese. And then more research, I've gone, yeah, these things are pretty damn cool. It's from there. But I want to go and go further, and I have absolutely no idea when stock is arriving, because it's when GaugeMaster gets it in, which is the supplier for my local shop. So whenever GaugeMaster gets it in and then sends it out, so I have no idea what order stuff's coming in. I have no idea what's next. I have a feeling it's the train set next, because that one's actually on order. It says it's on order on GaugeMaster's site, so I'm thinking it's that one. I've ordered 3 C11s, including that one. So, they're probably going to be a workhorse class around here. But this has gone on for long enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sign out. I'm going to stitch this video onto the end of the other one and upload, and then hopefully get back into the swing of things. Alrighty, I shall see you in the next video, which will probably, well, hopefully, this will have been built, or I'd have had something new which I can show off. Maybe the train sets are, I don't know. I don't know one way to find out, and that's to wait, unfortunately. But yep, I'll have to love you and leave you, and see you in the next one, people. And thank you for watching as ever, and hopefully it's only up from here. Right? See you later.